Good evening, everyone. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I'd like to invite the speaker, Mr. Rakesh Kumar Gupta and Mr. Arpan, who will be talking about custard apple pulp processing. I now request the speaker to begin. Thank you.
Yeah. So thanks a lot. Uh, Good afternoon to everybody. I am Rakesh Kumar Gupta, Managing Director, Gramshree Development Services Private Limited. So before we move for the presentation, I will just give a brief about our company, a small brief. So Gramshree Development Services is a company which basically focus on empowering rural families economically by providing them access to the market. So our main focus is how we can help the tribal families across our country who are living around the forest area, and the fruits like custard apple pulp, fruits like custard apple which is available abundant in these areas, how they can basically get the benefit of these fruits available in the forest. So we have basically worked on how processing can be done and how it can be linked to the market so that the tribals living in these forest area they get the most benefit. So I will just take you through what we do basically. So Gramsci basically works on value chain intervention. We establish our own processing unit in tribal villages. We collaborate with the farmer producer company, NGOs. We try to find out the problem. Then we look into what technology intervention can be done, and then we do market study and assessment so that market can be found out for each specific product. Then we first go for a pilot, how that pilot performs, and on the basis of that, only a expansion strategy basically we does. So in terms of custard apple pulp processing unit, this is a model basically which Gramshree follow across the country in India. So we start with mobilization of tribal women or the family who lives in the forest and who have the access of this wild grown custard apple. So we like our like company basically support these tribal women to form groups at the village level. There they establish these fruit collection centers where these fruit are collected. Again, the process in terms of grading and sorting are performed there, and from there the fruits are brought to the processing units where different like steps are basically followed there, which we will be sharing with you in the presentation ahead. And once the final product is ready, it's stored in the cold storage, since like custard apple will get spoiled if we are not able to maintain a temperature of like minus 18 degrees centigrade. And then once like storage is done, then we can market basically this pulp, frozen pulp across the country in frozen conditions. So these are the major like process which are being taken in the processing of custard apple pulp. One fruit is procured, sorting in terms of which fruit is what type, what size of a fruit you require, and then basically the fruit is ripened to be basically scooped or not. So then the process of scooping is there in which you separate the outer shell of the fruit and only you extract the seed and the pulp. Once that is done, then the process of de-seeding is done, and there are two processes. One is manual and second is uh, machine is being used. So once pulp is extracted, then it is packed in the like mostly the industry looks for 1 kg pouch packing. So it is packed in 1 kg pouch. Then basically it is blasted and then the final product is formed. So these are the small picture like we wanted to share with you. These are the like decentralized custard apple processing unit established in the interior tribal villages. So this is one of the village in Rajasthan, in Udaipur. It's almost like 80 kilometers away from Udaipur city, where very less infrastructure facilities are available. So we are able to establish these mini processing unit in such interior villages across the country. So in earlier slides I shared about the final product. Then this like product is stored hardened at a temperature of minus 30. Then it is stored at a temperature of minus 18 degree, and then basically is stored in cold room, and from there it is basically goes for marketing. These are the transportation. You need to also have a frozen vehicle if you want to transport the final product in lesser quantity, maybe 100 kg, 200 kg. So thermocol boxes are being used for this purpose. So in terms of market, where major demand is there, so you can see currently like whole Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, and Maharashtra. These are the major cities where major demand of frozen custard apple pulp is there, where milkshake, ice cream, dessert, especially in states like Rajasthan and Gujarat. In marriages, there is a lot of demand of different custard apple dessert items. So in terms of where currently Gramshree, so we are currently working in Rajasthan. We have established units in Madhya Pradesh in Chhindwara district. We have also established our units in Kaker, Chhattisgarh, and we are also now planning to work in Jharkhand. Again, these are the just showing some pictures of the final products of frozen custard. You can also eat this pulp raw. It's like a dessert. You can make basundi, you can make ice cream, you can make shakes also. These are some of the photographs of our collaboration. So these are the units which we have been able to support other farmer producer companies. The state rural livelihood mission, they promote cluster level federation. So we support them also to establish these mini processing unit in different parts of the country. And you can see we have been supported by IMC, CI Ahmedabad, FICCI, Buddha Fellowship, AIC Sangam. So these are some of the partners who support our mission of impacting 1 million tribal families through this value chain intervention. In terms of opportunity, so fruit, the whole fruit is being used. Leaves of custard apple is also being used in Ayurvedic. Seed of custard apple, again, it is being sold to the pesticide industry, and it also being used for plantation. While the outer part of the custard apple, once decomposed, is used as a manure. So the whole from tree, leaves, fruits, everything is being used in case of the custard apple and has a economic value. These are some of the benefits which you can see in different journals. Also, you will be finding the benefits. It helps in preventing acidity. Micronutrients are available, known for improve eye and brain health. So even having custard apple is very good for health also. This is a small number as per the national horticulture data. So Maharashtra is the state which have the highest production, followed by Gujarat, Chhattisgarh, and MP, and other states are also there. So now I will hand over to take you through the detail of if somebody want to establish a custard apple processing unit. So what are the steps, how those steps need to be followed. So my colleague Arpan Roy, he will take you through that. Arpan, over to you.
Thank you, Rakesh ji. Now I am going to present the next part, which focus if somebody wanted to start an enterprise, then what are the steps which helps him or her. So first of all, fruit procurement. So you can purchase the fruit from orchard, from market, from forest, anywhere. But while purchasing, you have to very much focus about the what is the size of the fruit, because it is very much depend that the size is depend on the quantity of pulp what you get from that fruit. So if the size is big, then you can get a good quantity of pulp from there. So that's why basically grading and sorting are take place for that purpose. So after grading and sorting, the next step is ripening. So basically for ripening, there is two types of step there. One is you can use chemical for ripening, and another one is which is
natural process. Yeah.
Natural process. So basically, Gramsci focused on a natural process. So there, one room is there where we can keep carrots of custard apples one up to the another. So it's basically 50 to 100 carrots can be there, and even more carrots can be there. Then we used jute bags for cover the carrots. Then another 1 to 2 days, the custard apples are ripened. But it is depends on the custard apples maturity. So first 1 to 2 days can 60% custard apple ripen. Then another 2 to 3 days the all fruits are ripened. Then goes for processing. So first stage is cooking, where we basically break the custard apple into pieces. Then the pulp with seed are extracting from that. Then it's uh, put in a drum or plate, whatever you want. Then after that, deseeding process are there. So for deseeding, there is also two types of deseeding are there. First one is manually, second one is by using of different machineries. So the pulp which are made from manually deseeding has a good market value, because the quality of manual deseeding pulp is very good in market. But right now, different enterprises are develop different machineries for custard apple deseeding. Machines are there, various types of machines are there, but now the manual deseeding for custard apples has a good market value. There have some pictures of our processing unit, which is village level processing units, where the tribal women are basically work in our processing unit. So here they are sitting on the floor, but you can use table chair for deseeding purpose. There the picture of manual deseeding.
So I will just add to this. You can also see the hygiene, the individual hygiene, product hygiene that need to be ensured. This is like food grade product, so that need to be ensured. So the people who will be working there, they need to be trained into this. So lot of care need to be taken while using the manual deseeding process. Yeah.
After deseeding are done, we keep the pulp in a drum. Around 10 kgs of pulp we keep there, and then we make 1 kgs packet from this. So the packing also depends on what the consumer want. If they want 5 kgs, 10 kgs, then we can make 5 kgs packet also. But in India, basically everyone making 1 kgs custard apple pack. After the packing is completed, we are keep it in a hardener machine, which is called which is used for frozen the custard apple pulp. The temperature of a hardener machine is varies around minus 31 degrees centigrade. So we keep the pulp 8 to 10 hours there. After 10 hours, we keep it in deep freezer, where temperature varies minus 18 degrees centigrade to minus 20 degrees centigrade. And this is the final product. The picture shows this is the final product. After that, we are basically sent it to the cold storage, or we can sell this. So if there is transportation also needed, if the amount is very high, then we can use frozen vehicle. But otherwise, we can use thermocol boxes, which is airtight packaging is there, and custard apple pulp is remain good around 10 to 15 hours in a thermocol boxes if the packaging is good. There is the legal licenses which is needed for processing that FSSI license, GST, individual uh, uh, documents of property or farmer producer company or company. Here is the machineries which is required for the processing of custard apple pulp. First of all, pulper machine. So if one wanted to doing this by using of machinery, so around 300 to 400 kgs capacity is there. Uh, so in a day, one machine can produce 400 kg custard apple. Two hardener should be there, because if 400 kgs custard apple make, then that should be frozen in that day. So if you late, then that pulp can be uh, the pulp can be deteriorated. So after that, if hardener capacity is 300 kgs, and then when the pulp is hardened, then we can keep it deep freezer. So 3 deep freezer is also needed, and there are 4 carrots are needed for uh, procurement purpose and ripening purpose. Steel plates are needed, steel drums are needed, weighing machine needed for packaging. Packaging machine are needed, and spoon should be there, head cap should be there, gloves should be there, mask should be there. And here is the costing of pulp production, where the material and labor cost, purchase price of custard apple, labor cost, preservative cost, packaging material cost, carton box cost. If the unit is rented, then the rent cost, water and electricity cost, cold room cost. After that, we can basically what we can basically decided what will be the prices of 1 kg of pulp.
Thank you, Arpan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So this is like we just shared a brief about means how the custard apple processing is done, starting from procurement of custard apple, means purchase of custard apple. Somebody can buy the custard apple from the market. Somebody can buy the custard apple direct from the farmers. So
1 second, I just
yeah.
lost the connection. Just 1 second.
Okay.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, we are able to hear you.
Okay, 1 minute.
Do you want?
Okay. Yeah. So thank you for the presentation, Mr. Rakesh and Mr. Arpan. So I'll now take up some questions. Okay. So what are the key steps involved in custard apple pulp extraction and processing?
So like we have shared like in terms of the process. So if you see, there are 3 critical points. So first is like the procurement of fruit. So you need to be very, very critical while purchase of the fruit. So that will basically decide the quality of the final product. So you need to have a bigger size of a pulp, a fruit. So that will give you a better quality of pulp. And again, the extraction percentage will be much, much higher. Second, like when you are doing custard apple pulp processing, so custard apple will get spoiled once it gets ripened and you extract the pulp within 2 to 3 hours period of a time. So once pulp is extracted and separated from the seed, you need to ensure that it get kept in the blast within 3 to 4 hours of extraction. So blasting become the most critical component. And the third, because this pulp is being used to make ice cream, different dessert which like we basically consume. So you need to ensure the hygiene part, especially when we are going for manual de-seeding process. So these are the 3 critical like areas somebody need to be careful.
Okay. And how can farmers reduce post-harvest losses through pulp processing?
Arpan, would you like to answer?
Yes. Custard apple is a very perishable fruit, so that's why we are basically wanted to process custard apple pulp, because in our area where we work, there a huge number of tribals are live there, and from the forest they actually got a huge quantities of custard apple. That's why they basically could not sell all of them. That's why we are basically work in custard apple processing. So if we process the custard apple, then after freezing, it can be remain good around 1 year to 1.5 years. So that's why we are basically processing.
So I will just add to what Arpan said. So to basically reduce the post-harvest losses only, the pulp is basically extracted and frozen. And as Arpan said, once it gets frozen, it has shelf life increases almost 2 years period of a time. So farmers can sell the pulp means whenever they looks or whenever they get the market.
Right. Okay. What is the minimum investment required to start a small-scale custard apple pulp unit?
Arpan, would you like to answer?
Yes. For starting a small scale custard apple unit, a minimum investment around 7 to 8 lakhs are there. If one can invest around 8 lakhs of money, then he can uh, start a enterprise in custard.
Yeah. So I'll just add to what like Arpan said, like in this like blast freeze becomes the most critical component which requires a major investment. So if you want to like do a production of 200 or 250 kg pulp per day, so you need a blast which will cost you around 1.5 lakh rupees. And then you need to have other machineries like pulping machine if you want to have, and then deep freezer. So these are the three critical machines. So that will require what Arpan said around 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs also they can start with it.
Okay. And what are the best methods to preserve pulp quality and extend shelf life?
So can you repeat once again the question?
What are the best methods to preserve pulp quality and extend shelf life?
So to preserve quality, so in case of like fruit, the hygiene part need to be ensured starting from procurement of fruits. So once you have procured the fruit, you need to clean it so that no external dust particle is there. And then you also need to ensure the labor or the people who are working in the unit, they also follow the all hygiene practices. Their hands should be clean. They should wear gloves, mask, head cap. So no external like material or anything basically goes into the pulp. So that is one of the part. Secondly, to ensure the quality. So in market like demand of handmade pulp. So manual de-seeding is very high, and if farmer does the manual de-seeding, so they can fetch higher price. But again, once you are doing a manual de-seeding, you need to ensure that the individual hygiene, product hygiene is maintained. So apart from hygiene, third factor is to ensure the quality of the product. You need to basically harden the pulp as soon as it is de-seeded. So as soon you blast it, take to a temperature of -30, the quality and both the shelf life will be much higher. So these are the three components. If somebody follows, he will have a very good quality of pulp, and he will also have a more shelf life.
Okay. And what food safety and hygiene standards should be followed during processing?
Arpan, you can answer this.
first of all, the workers who are going to work in the processing, so they should clean in terms of their the nails should be cut, and they has to be used caps, mask, gloves, and there any types of bangles are, should not be there in their hands. And the places where the processing will be took place, the should be very much clean. There should be there should not be any type of external material, any types of uh, any and the sorry the place should be well uh, the place should be that light and the air should be good in there.
No problem. So I will just add to Arpan, means he's talking about the unit where processing is being done. That need to be clean. All the utensils should be like before use, all the utensils should be properly cleaned and proper hygiene practices need to be maintained. So in terms of hygiene, the all the utensils, all the machine need to be cleaned on daily basis. Then the worker who are working there, their personal hygiene need to be ensured. Third is the fruit, the product hygiene we are talking about. So the food which is procured, it should be clean, free from dust particles. So these are the three major hygiene factor which even FSI basically focuses on need to be ensured.
Right. Okay. And what is the current market demand for custard apple pulp in India and abroad?
So if you see in India, so it started with demand in the ice cream industry, and especially in India and especially in the western part of India, like states like Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, and even like Maharashtra also. So that there is a demand of custard apple pulp in making these sweets in marriages. For example, in Hindu marriages, there is a demand for desserts which are made from custard apple. Like in Gujarat, there will be demand of basundi made from custard apple, rabdi made from custard apple. So this is one of the major market which has more than I can say 2,000, 3,000 ton of requirement there. Apart from this, ice cream industry is becoming a major part. So bigger ice cream like Vadilal, have more, even like Amul is now entering into it. Apart from this, each states have some states capitals are there where there is a bigger ice cream companies are there. So there is a huge demand there. Apart from this, many of the these big ice cream manufacturers, they are exporting. Like Baidilal has exported these pulp to US also, and in US they are even directly selling it to the consumer also. So in India currently it is going B2B, but it will also pick so that it can be used at the household level. So we call it as a catering industry is one market, ice cream industry is another market, and shakes and parlors are the third market where there is a huge demand and its demand will be increasing year by year. Yeah.
Okay. And what are the major value-added products that can be made from custard apple pulp?
Arpan, would you like to share?
Basically, ice cream are made from custard apple. Besides ice cream, their custard apple shakes are also famous. Dessert is it also used in dessert making in different marriages. So basically, ice cream industry has a very good popularity in ice. Custard apple has a popularity in ice cream industry. Like that.
So what Arpan said, in terms of demand, so product is ice cream is one of the product which is in a huge demand. Second, custard apple shakes are there. And then the sweets made from the custard apple, which I shared earlier also, like custard apple basundi, custard apple rabdi. So these are the four major like products made from the custard apple. Some people even tried like custard apple powder, which they have. It's been in pilot state where like a tea bag of custard apple powder is being experimented, but that is not commercialized at that point of a time. But these are the four products: ice cream, shakes, and sweets made from the custard apple pulp, rabdi, and then basundi. These are the four major like products are there.
Okay. And how can farmer groups and FPOs benefit from collective processing and marketing of custard apple products?
So, when you are talking about the farmers and the collective marketing also, so this is what like Gramshree basically is doing. So, for example, when we shared like we have been working in the tribal area of Rajasthan, we have also working in the tribal areas of Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh also. So, what we are doing, so the farmers who are there, either if they are doing the production of the custard apple, or for example in the area where we are working, they are basically procuring. So they come together as a farmer producer organization. For example, in Rajasthan, we have promoted a producer company named as Vandhan Sakti Mahila Producer Company. So around farmers from 20 villages, so they have established fruit collection center in those 20 villages, and then they have established a centralized custard apple processing unit in one of those 20 villages, and two decentralized custard apple processing unit. So these almost more than 1500 farmers have come together. So they collect this, the farmers directly sell the fruit at the collection center at the village level, where they got a good price, fair price there. And the place where the centralized processing unit is established, a very like neat and clean hygiene like place is being established, where they have a capacity to make almost like 500 kg of pulp every day. And that unit have a like a space where like 100 women can work together, almost like 20, 10 to 20 women works on scooping process, around 50 women works on de-seeding process, and a line of women like 5 women works on the quality check, packing section, sealing section, plastic section. So this is the how like they have utilized this custard apple. And initially they were just selling the custard apple, but with the value addition, they have provided employment to many more tribal women in their own area. And now the buyers from the cities like Ahmedabad, Surat, Jodhpur, Jaipur, they are coming to their area to buy this frozen custard apple pulp. So the farmers in other part of the country also can come together as a collective. They can start what Arpan also shared initially with a small, we call it as a decentralized mini processing unit, where an investment around 5 to 7 lakh is required. Once they are able to do a business of around like 5 ton, 10 ton, they can go for a centralized processing unit, and they can scale their business to around 20 metric ton, 30 metric ton, 50 metric ton. So this is the way like the farmers can come together as a collective, and they can basically take up this as an enterprise.
Okay. And yeah. So, as a CEO of a Gramsci Foundation Trust, what successful rural enterprise models have you seen in food processing and value addition?
So if you see in terms of the successful model, so we can say like the work which we have been doing around custard apple pulp, this is one of the successful model Just to give you in terms of a number, for example, in South Rajasthan, the district like Udaipur and Rajsamand, which is like tribal dominant area, 4 to 5 years ago, hardly any processing or any like value addition was being done. With this model, Gramsci basically promoted its own farmer producer organization and our like social startup Gramshree, which supported other farmer producer organizations also. So almost like more than 1,500 tribal women are involved in direct processing of this custard apple, either in the mini processing unit or in the villages itself. And almost like more than 5 to 6 crore of revenue is going to those villages. So this is the one of the like model we can say which has been successful and which has not only been replicated within Rajasthan, but it is also expanded to other states like Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh also. And so apart from this, you can also see other like NGOs in terms of like processing of mustard, value addition in terms of oil extraction. Again, those are also successful model where like a collective farmer producer company where farmers are doing the production of mustard, and they have established the this kachi ghani processing units, and then they got tie up with a social startup which has basically helped them to reach to the market. So those FPC or farmer producer organization who are able to tap the market, they are basically, we can say, have been successful or in the path of becoming a successful model also. So these are the two currently, like we can say, the models are there in terms of agriculture also and in terms of fruits also.
Okay. And yeah, okay. So what support in terms of training, technology, and market linkages that does Gramsci Foundation Trust provide to farmers and rural entrepreneurs?
So in terms of like the processing, so in terms of if you take as a farmer collective, so we start with the point where the farmers are either procuring the fruits from the village level. So, for example, in terms of custard apple itself, so we start training the farmers what is the stage when the custard apple need to be plucked. So they need to understand by visualizing what changes is happening in the fruits. So if they pluck the fruit at a right time, it will have a very high quality of like pulp. If they are not able to like pluck at a right time, there is a chances of lot of losses. Means lot of fruit will be plucked, but it will not get ripened also. So it has happened in some of the farmer producer company who has started themselves. So they procured the fruit before the ripening stage, and they, for example, they like procured almost like 5,000 kg of custard apple, and those out of 5,000, almost 50% didn't got ripened, so there was a loss of 50% of the fruit. So there, like Gramsci Foundation Trust expert basically provided training to those farmers in the village, those women in the village, to understand what's the stage when this fruit need to be plucked. We say that eyes of that fruit need to be open, so farmers can identify how they can see what are the characteristics in the fruit which tells that these fruits will get ripen in next 3 or 4 days period of a time. So these are the some of the training at the when they are plucking it. Apart from this, somebody who want to establish this unit as an enterprise, so we have a whole like our standard operating procedure is there. Means how to establish a collection center, how to do sorting, how to do grading, what need to be documented. Once fruit is brought to the processing unit, how you need to stack the fruit so that the ripening, natural ripening can take place. So these are the another layer of like training basically. Means one is before like the fruit is brought to the processing unit, then the trainings are there where like those people who will be involved in the processing of like grading, scooping. So those nuances means how you scoop the fruit so that the rough part of the fruit doesn't come into the pulp. Those little nuances are very critical. So our like technical person, our experts are there who train those women, who train those people who are working in the processing unit to understand those nuances so that the final product has that quality which passes through even the parameters of the high like the ice cream manufacturer like Vadilal, Dinshaw in Nagpur, Maharashtra. So we have been able to like train many like farmer producer company in Madhya Pradesh also, and they had done the production and their quality has been accepted by the bigger ice cream manufacturer like Dinshaw also. So these are the whole process, and we have all the like standard operating procedure which if we provide to the entrepreneur, he is able to manage the mini processing units also, and bigger like we call it as a centralized processing units. We have all the formats basically which helps that units basically to manage the whole process, because this is a seasonal fruit, and once the fruit start coming there is a lot of load. It's like these units are running almost 20 hours a day. So to manage the things and at the same time ensure the quality, different like parameters need to be tracked on daily basis, so that the quality is also ensured. Efficiency in terms of your cost of production comes down. So if cost of production is down, you can compete in the market with the other existing players also. So our like team is there which has the expertise from fruit procurement till processing and even linking with the buyers also. So we are there. So we have been supporting different organization on different fronts. Some farmers have done their production, but they were not able to market it. So our social startup basically got in touch with them, procured their pulp, and we are able to basically provide them market also. So these are the like different like areas where we can provide support to individual entrepreneurs also, farmer producer companies also, and even the non-profit organizations who are supporting these farmers also.
Okay, Mr. Rakesh. So that was good to know about all the details about the custard apple processing. So now we have come, I don't find any more questions. So now we have come to end of question round. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we'd like to thank you and Mr. Arpan for sharing the details and sharing the presentation in depth. So we'll be ending this meeting now. Have a good evening.
Okay. Thanks a lot, and thanks a lot for allowing us this opportunity to share. Okay.
You're most welcome. Thank you.
Okay.